Hey, what's up, guys? It's Spicy Ninja here, aka Fat Jesus, and we're jumping right back into Black Rose. It's gotten a lot of bit deep since the first time I played. We had a little bit of audio problems when I first started this game back up, so I had to cut it or go in and fix it. I'll have a little blooper at the end of this video. Wait, no, I deleted it. Never mind. Scratch that.
There are a lot of strange things I've seen around this place. For instance, the fireplace that isn't even a real fireplace.
It's not?
It's some kind of ladder shaft.
Really?
But there's a tough metal grate fastened over it that appears to be controlled electronically, most likely by the lockdown system. I'm assuming the shaft leads down to the basement, but it must have been sealed off because it's not accessible from anywhere down there. Another thing I've started wondering about is a metal handle that's been sitting on Michael's desk for about a month now. I asked about it once out of curiosity, but he avoided giving me a direct answer. He told me it broke off of something. I'd already assumed this, seeing as it's covered in dirt and rusted around the edges where it had clearly been attached to something for a very long time. Perhaps the biggest mystery I've encountered here is the place Myrtle always went for privacy. She was often depressed, so she was always going into the downstairs hall on her way to wherever it was she went to be alone. However, she seemed to vanish. The only place she could have gone from that hallway is down into the basement, but I went down there one day to ask her something and I couldn't find her. I'm wondering if there's a secret room somewhere down there. After all, I did learn from Michael that this building is from the 1600s, long before it was ever a funeral home.
Jesus.
Buildings as old as this one sometimes have quite a few secret areas.
Alrighty. By the way, I also found out there's more than one checkpoint.
They still haven't buried them. Sullivan has been lying in his coffin now for 2 days, and Myrtle for 3. Because Conrad refused to touch Myrtle's coffin after her funeral, it had to be put aside so Sullivan could have his. Conrad still simply doesn't want to have anything to do with the burial of either of them, even if all he's doing is preparing a future grave without actually touching the coffins. I'm starting to wonder if he had some type of unpleasant encounter with Myrtle and Sullivan's coffins, or he heard some absurd rumor about their corpses. What's sad is that Myrtle and Sullivan don't have relatives who care enough about their burials to actually do something about this. Michael was embarrassed to have to tell all the relatives and friends that the actual burials couldn't be held yet. Even so, none of them objected. Maybe they just didn't see a point in doing so, considering the person they would be doing it for is already gone. I don't know. As far as feeling nervous around coffins, I do get a strange vibe now in the visitation room. The atmosphere in there is starting to feel different. The air feels heavier, a little bit oppressive even. It seems to be more noticeable today than it was yesterday. I'm not quite sure if I believe in ghosts or not, but it seems to fit what I've heard before about locations having uncomfortable, negative energy due to evil or extremely upset spirits. Maybe it's just normal stuffy air. There aren't any windows in there, and it is the middle of summer.
Alrighty. I totally forgot what I was saying. Apparently I need to get to a desk of some sorts. I'm not going back in there. I need to get to somebody's desk. Michael's desk. I need to find Michael's desk to find this lever, I think. The door is warped and badly. It doesn't want to open. Fuck. And apparently these notes are leading me somewhere.
It turns out that Devin got into the morgue by stealing Sullivan's key card from the office. Mrs. Raines had been in there and forgot to lock it when she left. Nobody knows exactly how the kid figured out the passcode, but considering what a flake his mother is, that's probably just something else she inadvertently compromised. They're burying Sullivan with a few of his belongings from the funeral home. I guess because he had worked here for so long and was so loyal to his job. Michael revealed that one of those belongings is Sullivan's key card. Of course, they would need to deactivate it from the system to avoid any breaches and the chance that it was stolen, but then again, Mrs. Raines would be the one who would do that. I discovered earlier today that Devon had stolen the system lock override key as well and hidden it somewhere in the building.
Okay.
This has got to be the most troublesome, ill-behaved kid I have ever encountered.
Okay, so I gotta look for a key card. There's a paper in here, I wanna read it. Whatever. I'm still getting a really weird vibe, like something's gonna freaking jump out and scare the living crap out of me. What's this? That's a lot of read. They never buried either of them, they're still here? What the crap? Grief-stricken man killed by train after blinding himself. 15-year-old Sullivan James, one of the two funeral directors at the... Why is it 15? Oh, that's 57. Ooh, whoops. The 57-year-old Sullivan James, one of the two funeral directors at the Chimmering Hills Funeral Home, was killed Monday after he tripped and fell onto the tracks of the oncoming train. According to his co-workers at the funeral home, James had slipped into this state of grief-stricken high-strung something just minutes earlier after I'm a terrible reader, guys, I'm sorry. Hey, Papa Word, what do you feel like reading? I'm right here after
Grief-stricken hysteria. Just minutes earlier, after experiencing an emotional breakdown over the death of a childhood friend and co-worker, Myrtle Varnworth, who had been suffering from a severe brain tumor which doctors had deemed inoperable. Miss Varnworth passed away 9 days after the end of her predicted death date. James, devastated, apparently gouged out his own eyes using a scalpel from the funeral home's preparation room and managed to scramble out a nearby window. Miles Treadman, an embalmer at Shenmire Hills Funeral Home and a short-time co-worker of Mr. James, had begun to chase after the frenzied man through the field behind the building, but was not able to catch him before he reached a nearby segment of railroad tracks and tripped, falling down on top of them. Treadman and a few other eyewitnesses reported that James made no attempt to get up as the train quickly rolled in. Grief-stricken Sullivan James was killed on impact, the fast-moving train hitting him with such force that he was severed into 3 pieces. It has been speculated by those who knew the man that his fatal episode was driven by guilt for not treating his longtime friend how he believed he should have. Those are really freaky-looking pictures.
Right? I seen that kid walk in front of me in this fucking house. Sorry.
This double tragedy at Shenmire Hills Funeral Home has sparked a great deal of public interest in the site and has become an attraction for loitering and vandalism among young people in the 3 days that have passed since the incident. 3 arrests have already been made. They never buried either of them. Both are still here.
Thank you, Papa Word. Everybody give him a hand. Because I have a reading disability. I know it's not an excuse, but it is an excuse. It is. I suck. I'm sorry. Anyways. Ooh. There's something written on the back. Oh, shit. They say that if you take his rose, he wakes up. That's the only way his coffin will open. Wait. That's the only way his coffin will open. I heard that he also tears you in 3 pieces if he catches you. Shit. Oh God! Something's under the table. I don't want to look under the table! No, God! They won't find it ever. No, I don't want to take that key. That means I gotta go do something. There's a key here. It's labeled V Room 2. I don't want to turn around. I don't. Okay. I read that note.
All those attending the funeral service for Sullivan James, please gather in the visitation room.
Fuck. I'm terrified, guys. I'm sorry. Oh! God! Dang it! No, come on! Are you serious right now? Ah! That's not an actual fireplace, if you guys remember. What? That's confusing. Whatever. I guess we're going into the visitation room. Alright, you guys ready to see a funeral? No. Nope. Nope. I'm sorry, I'm terrified. Fine, we'll get it over with. Dare you, double dare you. I'm not taking that. I don't want to take that. Well, Sullivan, you ready to wake up? It's a black origami rose lying on top of the coffin. Take it, yes or no? No. Nope. Yes. Run! Oh, come on! No! No. You can have your rose back!
Sullivan James was blind as a bat. Sullivan James fell down flat. Sullivan James is withered and blue.
No, he's not.
Sullivan James
No.
is coming for you.
We're just gonna run around in circles. We're just running around in circles. Oh, come on! Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this game. I'm pretty sure people are getting annoyed with me screaming like a little girl. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.